Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I am joined by one half of your OPW Women's Tag Team Champions, Shay Kassidy. How are you today?
I am amazing. How are you?
I am amazing as well. We were talking off air. It's been a hot minute since the last time I
Mm.
talked to you. You have completely different hair, a completely different vibe. Still got
Oh yeah.
Barnaby though, at least. So,
Yeah.
and yes.
He's still here
And
with us.
and you now have tag team gold, which we'll get into actually right
Ooh.
away because that was definitely one of your highlights of 2024. You now have gold strapped around your waist because at Mickie James's her event, you and Kingsley became the first ever OPW Women's Tag Team Champions, and I believe the first ever women's tag champs across all of Australia, like period. So what a big
Yeah.
moment for you guys. Before we get into that tag team match specifically, tell me about your overall experience at the Her event in Starcast Down Under back in April.
It was just like the nicest environment to be in, I think. It was just so it just was like there were so many people I knew from Sydney, but then also some like there were girls from Melbourne, and but it was just honestly the environment was just like unlike any other I've been a part of. It was so nice and so welcoming and it's just so encouraging, and it was just so like amazing of an environment.
Yeah, now at the actual event, you faced Frankie B and Nikki Van Blair and won, like we said, the OPW Women's Tag Team titles. So, first of all, congratulations again. And still, you guys are going to be heading into 2025 as the tag champs. Maybe you can get a year-long reign under your belts. That's
Ooh.
a goal of 2025, I have to imagine. But looking back at that match, you've worked closely with Frankie and Nikki Van Blair before. You're no stranger to them.
Yes.
But you had a little bit of higher stakes in this match. So tell us about some of your main takeaways from the match itself.
Oh, I mean, I think some of the takeaways I had were just like it was definitely a test for me being like the
Yes.
more I was like the newer person out of the four of us. Like I was
Yeah.
just the newer wrestler out of all of us. So I feel like there was a little bit of pressure, you know, to make sure that in my head I was like, okay, they're gonna be fine. I'm worried about myself. Like, how am I gonna go? How am I gonna be? And especially because it was a high stakes match, but also just a high stakes show. So it was like a huge amount of pressure there. But I mean, Kingsley was really great, and Kingsley was so just she's just so encouraging and she's just so helpful with figuring that out. So she's always just been such a great help to have right beside me. But yeah, so we all just like I don't know, we all just like we're like, yeah, okay, no, we got this. Like right before we went out, we were like, yeah, like this is yeah, we got this. We can do this.
Yeah, I mean, this is no secret. I kind of helped Mickey put together the card, and when I saw that you two were slated for the tag team title match, I was like, this is the right two teams, the right choice. But it was really hard to pick, so I was happy with either outcome, honestly. But it was really heartwarming because I definitely have a soft spot for the Backslide Girls. And as a cherry on top, you had a moment with the WWE Hall of Famer now, Bull Nakano, as she presented you guys with the titles. I know that was huge. Kingsley was freaking out in our text
Oh
messages. I have
yeah.
to imagine you were feeling similar. So, how did that moment feel to get your hand raised and celebrate with Bull Nakano after the match?
It was so surreal in the way of like I was getting my title put on me by referee Hannah,
Yeah.
and I like looked over and I was just looking at Kingsley get her title put on by Bull Nakano, and I was just like, what is going on? What is happening? I like and I like talked to Kingsley after. Um, I talked to Kingsley after seeing like Bull put the title on her, and I was like what's going on? Like what's happening? Like it was so just like random. Like it just felt so like, oh my god, this is so bizarre,
Yeah.
but it was so incredible because it was like a week before she was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then a week after we're in Ballarat winning these OPW Women's Tag Team Championships and getting them presented to us by Bull Nakano, which is so crazy to me. I think it was just the most like what? Like
Yeah.
it was like I try to take things in all the time, especially like big moments and stuff. And I think that was just the one that I was like was there. I felt like I was there for like a million hours just standing
Yeah.
in that moment going, what?
Yeah, you have to savor that moment. Yeah, the timing of it was crazy too because Bull was kind of locked in since even before WWE announced that she was being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't know if Mickie knew that at the time or not. But the timing was crazy because like you said, it was like a week. Yeah, it was literally a week after now that I'm thinking about it. Which is insane. Like she basically just flew right to Australia right after, I feel like. But that is
Right?
a
Yeah.
moment that nobody can take away from you guys. You guys are the first and the oh, probably I mean, who's to say she could return, but probably the only people to be presented with titles by Bull Nakano. So
Yeah.
savor that memory. It seems that you have. I would definitely do that too. But, you know, I feel like you guys too were surrounded by a plethora of legends that weekend. I mean, you had Bull
Yeah.
Nakano, obviously Mickie James, Victoria, Shelton Benjamin was there, Bret Hart was there. I saw I saw you guys getting cozy with the Great Khali. That was hilarious to see. So, but that obviously brings up an opportunity for learning. So, did you receive any maybe memorable advice from these legends, or tell us about some of the interactions you had throughout the weekend at Starcast?
I think the biggest interaction we had was with Vix Crow.
Yeah,
She was so lovely and just so like she's so just cool and she doesn't really give a damn about like she's just so herself and she was just yeah she was really really helpful just like giving general advice and just saying to like myself and Kingsley and Frankie B and Nikki Van Blair like I've got you guys like if you ever need anything I've got you and she was just giving us so much amazing advice and just being really empowering, which I think was a big takeaway from the weekend. Like I left that weekend feeling so fulfilled and so empowered by everyone I was around. And I think that was a really huge takeaway from me. I think Mickie was very busy, so we didn't really totally see her too much. She was a lot like in and out and doing her
running
own
around.
match. And
Yeah.
yeah, she was like a little bit of a headless chicken. But no, she when we did like have a chat with her after our match, she gave us some really nice advice about what we can do to kind of elevate what we're doing as a tag, and that was really helpful. And yeah, it was just such really nice wholesome interactions throughout the weekend. I think especially through like not even the stars that were there, but like ourselves as
Yeah.
well. Just having really nice interactions with each other and just being there and being like, oh, this is just a really nice thing. This is just such a nice thing to be a part of.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, granted, Australia is a big continent. Most of you are in the New South Wales or like Queensland, kind of at the what eastern side of Australia. Had to get my
Mm,
geography correct for a second. I feel like most of you are based in the eastern or southern side. But it's not often I have to imagine that you're all in like one place at the same time. So I have to imagine
yeah,
that was, like you said, really empowering. And obviously all these people from outside coming in. I mean, Tennille was back there too.
uh,
You had Jody Threat there as well, Lizzie Evo. So you had some outsiders too as well. But like you said, I feel like
mm,
it's not often that you're all together in one place, which is really empowering. And I hope, fingers crossed, I really hope you gals get another event because that event was so good and like it made me cry tears of joy. I was so happy. And so I'm trying. I was like, Mickie, girl, you gotta bring it back.
hey, it's time, Mickie. Hey,
2025, who knows? A new year is soon upon us. But you mentioned earlier, obviously, you were a little bit newer to the scene. You got about 3 years under your belt at this time, going on four. Um,
yeah,
Kingsley, I think, is approaching her year 7.
I think
So
so.
So, like you said, you've been going under her learning tree a little bit. So, what are some things that you've learned from her, either personally or professionally?
Oh, I feel like over the last year and a half, I've learned so much from her. She's just very good at just being like, not one thing I've learned is kind of the respect I need to have for myself in the sense of making sure I am like getting what I, am owed, or like getting, like if someone is disrespecting me, to be like, okay, let's not take that. She's very
Yeah.
good at, I feel like, being that for me in the sense of,
Yeah.
no, this isn't right. Like, this is what you this is what you deserve. And if that's not getting given to you, then, don't worry about that. And I think that was like a big help for me kind of growing into, because I think I can be a little bit of a pushover, just a tiny little bit.
I'm the same
Um,
way. Get that.
yeah. And Kingsley really balances that out for me, because she just is like, takes nothing from no one. And I think that's so inspiring to look at and go, oh, I really, that's what I need to be. Um, but yeah, she's honestly just been such a huge help in my general confidence as well. I think as well, from the last time we spoke, I was a
Yeah.
very different person. Um, and yeah, like I think it's just general confidence that I've learned from her in the ring and in like out, as well as like promos and stuff. And just my way of speaking, and even just in normal life, I feel like I've come into my own with in PWA a little
Yeah.
bit, like professionally and personally. I think I have definitely come into it a little bit more as myself. um, and I think that's kind of like all very much like due to her kind of help, as well as other people that I've surrounded myself with. But I think Kingsley's been like a really big help in actually kind of where I am today and who I am today. And I think that's the big takeaway I've taken from her.
You've read my mind because I was going to mention last year when I talked with Kingsley, we were talking about kind of this growth that you've had. But you alluded it to it. Last time I talked to you, you were kind of this dark, mysterious, kind of quiet character, a little bit quiet in real life too. But
Mm.
now, at least in the ring, from what I can see, you're definitely more vibrant and outgoing. Um, so, would you say that Kingsley has helped bring that out more vibrant, outgoing side of you in the ring as well?
I think so. I mean, I think there's there's something about when you have someone in the ring with you that is quite loud and they're very
Expressive.
charismatic. You
Yeah.
kind of you kind of think, oh, okay, I've got to get to that. I've got to try and like push
Yeah.
myself to that, which is so. It's been such a big challenge because it is like I said, like I was such a quiet character. I was such a different character.
Yeah.
Um, like I was such a different person, and I think it was such a big. It was like gradual, because again, if you go to the start of this year, it's still like you can see me trying to get to like those points and trying to get more comfortable with being a little bit out there.
Hmm.
And I think that it's I think not just Kingsley, but I think Everett Connors also helped with that, because I've teamed with
Absolutely.
him a couple times, and he's so funny. He's so and like he I watch him and like we'll come out, we'll do our entrance, and he's just doing these ones, and I'm like, all right, we're doing this, and it's just you kind of grow to be really comfortable being a bit silly
Hmm.
very quickly. I think with the people I've surrounded myself with, because I think they're very confident and very comfortable doing it themselves, and I think that's been probably the easiest transition of anything I've ever done.
Yeah, it's just a natural thing. You spend so much time with people, you start to adopt like their mannerisms and their
Oh
speech
yeah.
patterns, and like you said, so it's kind of just a natural thing. It also translates though not only real life, but also in the ring as well. So maybe you're not feeling as comfortable. I mean, fake it till you make it, but it seems like it's working for you so far. You
Oh
can
yeah,
definitely see, like you said, the progression, even from just the beginning of this year to the end of this year. You're definitely, I mean, you got the gold to prove. So you always have that. Even if you're feeling down, just remember you're a freaking champ. You always
you're
have
right.
that.
You're right.
So
I'm
yeah.
gonna think of that anytime I feel sad now. Hope you tell you
Now,
women's tag team champions.
exactly, girlfriends. But obviously, we're talking about the Backslide Girls as well. Obviously, they're all about pop culture and music. What does your personal music taste look like, though?
Or my music taste is so girly pop. It's not
Okay.
funny. It's like
So it's on
I'm talking
brand.
like, oh, it's the most on brand. Yes. If
Okay.
that part I couldn't fake. That part is like that's real. Like Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan, Olivia Rodrigo, Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, Charlie XCX. Like there's so many, and like a lot of those albums came out like this year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those things,
You've been
yeah, they
spoiled,
came out this
Shay.
year. Yeah. Oh yeah, especially by Sabrina Carpenter. She's like
Yeah.
my like number one at the moment because she's just so like she is just for the gals. That's all I'm gonna say.
Have you seen, I don't know, has she gone? I know she's gone on tour. I don't know if she's gone to Australia, though. Has she?
She actually, you know what? I saw her this year
Oh, you did.
because she opened for Taylor Swift in February. And yeah,
Oh,
so that was like
you were so spoiled. You need to tell me about that concert experience.
oh my gosh, it was incredible. I think I went by myself because like I was legit only able to get one ticket. Like
Yeah.
it was nuts how that
Yeah.
whole ticket tech thing was going. But yeah, I went by myself and it was legit like it was just the nicest experience ever. I had a bunch of friendship bracelets and I was exchanging them with everyone. And then I found my seat and I was watching Sabrina. And then I was like, and then Taylor came out and I was legit like when she first came out, my face was just like I was so in awe of everything that was happening, and it was just so. It was such a magical play. Like it was such a magical night, honestly. Like it was genuinely like my favorite concert I've been to. Like seriously, it was so amazing going to that.
That's kind of pushing me kind of aside. I've been wanting to go to a concert that's coming up in February, but like nobody will go with me. And I'm like, I don't really want to go by myself. But now that you're saying that, I'm like, should I? Like,
Yeah,
should I? It's not that far and it would be like easy to get home. It's just like I don't think I've ever gone to a concert by myself. I'm like, will it be fun? Seems like it,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I honestly was like nervous about going by myself because
Of course.
I it's a little bit far for me to get to that stadium and
Okay.
I was a bit like, oh no, I'm nervous. Like I don't know anyone, so like I'm
Yeah.
feeling a bit like awkward.
Hmm.
But then you just kind of like I don't know, everyone's just like really nice. And then you just like especially because the bracelets are a great little icebreaker. So you
Yeah.
just go, oh, like you have one, I'll give you one, whatnot.
Hmm.
And I think honestly I had such a fun night because like I technically didn't really have to care too much about if I was dancing too much or singing too loud because I didn't
Yeah.
know anyone. So I
Yeah.
like was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have a good time. And then like the honestly on the train back, I was buzzing. I was like full of adrenaline. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, I had such a great time.
Mm.
And yeah, no, I think going by myself was nerve wracking, but so worth it.
Good to know then. I think that might have swayed me to go to my pop country concert by myself. Interesting. Okay.
Absolutely,
N-
absolutely.
Now I am gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Maybe you know them offhand. What would you say are your top 3 to 5 Sabrina and Taylor songs?
Or Taste for sure. Taste by Sabrina Carpenter was my
Okay.
top song of the year on my
Okay.
Spotify Wrapped. I love that song. I love Juno and I love Espresso and I love some of her Christmas songs as well. I've been listening to those recently. She came out last year with a Christmas EP. I love Is It New Year's Yet? And Buy Me Presents. Those are really cute songs by Sabrina. And then Taylor, oh, Taylor's so much harder because she just has such a big
I
discography.
know.
I feel like I would have to say Cruel Summer's a big one. Like that was when I got into a bit. I think like last year I started listening to that. That was like my top last year.
Mhm.
My top on Wrapped last year. And then honestly, I would have to say probably How You Get the Girl from 1989. Um, Fearless from Fearless. What else is I love The Moment I Knew from Red. And what else is there? Oh, I love Betty from Folklore. Those are like
Okay.
some, yeah, those are some really good songs that I'm just like, some of them are like emotional, but
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, this is getting me good. This is getting me my feels. It's so, oh, love Taylor Swift. Anyone I know around me will be like, yeah, she loves
Yeah,
Taylor
she
Swift.
does.
She loves it a bit too much.
Now, this next question that I had seems kind of already answered at this point, but I'm going to ask it anyways. If you, as the Backslide Girls, including Everett Connors, could collaborate with any music artist or band for a performance, who would you like it to be and why?
I would go Sabrina. I would go
Okay.
absolutely Sabrina because I think Sabrina, like, I don't know if you've been keeping up to date with like her tour and stuff, but the way
Yeah.
she presents herself on stage is, I feel like, unlike
Hmm.
any other I've seen. And I think she's just, again, she's so girly pop. She's so for the
Yeah.
girls. And the Backslide Girls, we're for the girls.
Hmm.
Clearly, it's in the name. And I think, yeah, that would be like dream collab. That would be like the collab to end all collabs.
We need to
Yeah,
get that collab in 2025 at Sabrina Carpenter
that's
below.
Sabrina Carpenter when you're free.
You
Just
need to
when you're
you,
free,
you
you
need to
know?
make a hashtag Sabrina for the Backslide Girls. There you go.
Absolutely. Get it going.
Now, elsewhere this year, I want to pivot a little bit. I saw you made your debut on the QWI 200 at number 139.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank
I
you.
believe Kingsley also made it as well, if I recall
Yeah,
correctly.
she got
Um,
138. She
so
beat
now
me.
next year, it's the
I've got to
race is
beat her.
on.
That's right.
Do you recall your
137.
initial, yeah, do you recall your initial reaction to this and what did it mean to you, ranking on the QWI?
Honestly, I had seen that I saw like Nikki Van Blair and I saw Charlie
Yes.
Evans on that list. And I didn't really think like I like saw that they posted it. I was like, "Oh, yeah, really good stuff."
Mhm.
I didn't really think I would be on the list. And I went, "Oh, just have a look, see who else, see if there's anyone else I might know and familiar
Mhm.
with." And I just scrolled through and I scrolled through and I saw I saw me and I went, "Whoa." And I sent it to Kingsley and went, "Hey, look, look at us." And she was like, whoa. We were very, very both surprised. I think because, I don't know, I just don't think I was really ever expecting it. Or I didn't really see it coming. I don't know. But yeah, no, it was really, really nice. It's the first time I think I've ever been on any kind of list of any
Yeah.
type. So it was just like, oh, it was just a really like, oh, that feels really nice to be like acknowledged. Like it's just, I don't
Hmm.
know, a very good feeling.
Yeah. So now the race is on to top Kingsley next
Yes,
year. Hmm.
absolutely. 137, that's what I'm aiming for next year.
I wonder what the criteria was. Like what made her over you? Well, maybe she did have a singles title, so I guess that would put her over the
Yeah,
edge.
I think so. I
Yeah,
have to have a singles title, is what basically they're saying.
exactly. Yes.
That makes sense to me, I think.
Now, kind of going back to that pop element, pop culture and music, we were talking how you've evolved, character-wise, attitude-wise. You've got different hair. You've also transformed your ring gear game as well. Very much brighter colors. We've seen
Oh
some
yeah.
red Britney Spears inspired gear recently, which I was like, yes, girl, you rock it.
Oh yeah.
Where else if you say Sabrina, one of them probably is Sabrina. Where else do you look to when you're envisioning and crafting your ring gear designs?
Actually, none of the ring gear I have at the moment's been inspired by Sabrina
Ah, okay.
yet.
Okay.
However, I have been looking. I've been very much looking at her
Yeah.
tour outfits and being like,
Hmm.
ooh, writing this down, writing
Hmm.
this down. Yeah. I think I do look at pop culture, but I also just like I just kind of feel what I sometimes I just have ideas in my head that I go, I think this could look
Yeah.
nice. Because that's why I went, because I used to have I have the pink and purple long pants.
Yes, I love
Because
those, by the way.
yeah, yeah, they're a really lovely
I love
gear.
a split
Um,
dye.
yeah, because I was very inspired by like Joshi wrestlers. A lot of them, like a few of them have that kind of gear where it's like
Yeah.
they've got the long pants, they've got the little like holes in the
Hmm.
side. And I really wanted to wear something like that because I was like, I wasn't really comfortable wearing like shorts, but I wanted something that like looked cool still.
Yeah.
So I did that because that looks really nice. And then for the next gear, I was like, you know what? Okay, I want to try it like a half a skirt, like a little cute little skirt thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then that was like I got that gear, which was my blue and purple gear, and
Yeah.
that's a really lovely. I really love that gear with like the nice little garter as well.
Mhm.
Um, and then having the red gear was like, oh, this is like
She's
incredible.
pop
Like,
star. Yeah.
yeah, like every time I put that gear on, I go, whoa, I'm on something amazing here, and that's my gear. But yeah, I think the next gear, I don't know. I have an idea of what I want to be inspired by for my next one. Um, I'm just trying to figure that one out at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see soon.
Is it related to
Hmm.
pop culture? Can you at least tell us that? Or
It's
is it
related. It's not really related to, I guess, current pop culture. It's like
okay?
more like retro pop culture, I guess I would say.
90s,
Yeah,
2000s? Okay.
90s, I would say. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm here
So
for
yeah,
a retro throwback. I'm here for that.
me too. Me too. Wasn't born in the 90s, but hey.
Normally I feel young. I'm late 90s. Shit.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
What are you, an
Early
'01
2000s.
baby or something?
I'm at '02
Oh my
actually.
God, girl. Oh my God. Oh, we're all getting old. It's crazy. 2025. What the frick? Like that feels like a fake year, dude.
Right? I feel like this year itself has just gone so quickly.
Yeah.
I think because I've just
Couple
been so busy, honestly.
That's a good thing, booked and busy.
Yeah, not a bad problem to have.
Yeah. Couple more questions for you since we're on the topic of 2024 and this year. What would you say
Mm.
are some of your proudest performances from an in-ring standpoint this year?
Oh, from an in-ring standpoint, I feel like I've just grown so much over this last year. I do look at matches I had at the start of the year that at the time I was like, oh, okay, I think I did pretty good. And I go, okay, so we did good at the time, but now looking back, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, she needs some work. And I think even now, I mean, I as a wrestler, I think it just, and I feel like anyone could relate. It's just so hypercritical of themselves.
Yeah.
I think I recently had a match with Jessica Troy at IWA
Yeah.
at St. John's Park, and that was like a match I felt really good with. I in the moment and then watching it back, I was like, okay, I think this is a really good one I did. Like I never like being like, yeah, this was sick. Because sometimes when I say that, someone will be like, oh, hey, like this needs some work. And I go, oh, okay, you're right. So I always try to be as like critical of myself. But I really enjoyed that match in the moment and looking back on it, which I feel like sometimes you can enjoy and you can think you did something good in the moment and then you watch it back and you go, oh, that wasn't as good. So there was that one. What else have I wrestled? Like I feel like I've wrestled so many matches that I just like it all kind of becomes a little bit of a blur a little
Yeah.
bit. Um I think there was a match me and Kingsley had against Jimbo Jesse and Rita Stone at Slam. I think that was in July. And that was a fun one. That was a very fun match. It wasn't much wrestling, but it was just very like fun and more just
Yeah.
like me and Kingsley just being really silly. Very
Yeah.
silly we are. If we're anything, we're silly. We
It's
don't bring much.
entertainment, you know, it's a
Yeah.
performance art aspect. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that was really fun. That was a really good one. Yeah, I really feel like anytime I've wrestled Jessica Troy a couple times this year actually, and I feel like anytime I have, I've just been like, oh, this is really like I think Jess is just such an amazing person to work. I think she's such
I
an amazing
agree.
person, full stop.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, she's just so easy to like put something together with because she'll just be like, all right, how about we do this? And I go, brilliant,
Hmm.
love it. Um, but yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, like I feel like I've just yeah, so many matches that I just like kind of just like not forget about, but just all become like
Yeah. Again, it's a
intertwined with
good
each other,
problem to have.
right? Not complaining over here.
Yeah. I know Jessica will like vehemently deny this because she's so humble, but I've told her, and several people, I'm sure you will agree. I feel like she's just the face of Australia, like just period.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, where does she go, like from here? Like, what else is there left for her to do? You know?
right.
Um, but so she's amazing. Love her. Great person as well. I was fortunate enough to meet her in a rare trip to the States a couple years ago. Hopefully we get you over here in the States as well.
Oh,
Um,
hopefully.
so we'll see what happens. But looking ahead now, you have, well, I don't know, it's at least the last show for PWA. We have PWA Mounties Mania on December
Yeah.
28th, where you will be taking on a returning Shazza McKenzie. It's been a hot minute since Shazza's been in Australia, period, I think.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts? Again, another vet, another great person as well. What are your thoughts heading into your singles match against Shazza?
I have wrestled Shazza before.
Yes.
Again, like it was probably like 2 years ago when I was that very different person, very like just a very different person all around. And I feel like it's going to be my main thing I'm looking into this match, like, is basically how much I've improved and how much that I've actually changed and evolved. That's my main thing I'm kind of going into this match trying to focus on. But I am also very excited to wrestle her because it has been such a long time. I kind of like she's obviously changed as well in her
Yeah.
own right, being in America. So I think it's going to be like two quite changed wrestlers from the last time we wrestled each other, which I think will be really nice to kind of see her involvement and my involvement as well.
Now, obviously, we have a stacked card. We were talking about Jessica Troy. This one I'm interested in because it's a six-person tag. We saw Charlie Evans turn on Jessica Troy at PWA
Mm,
Coliseum. That's a six-man. We also have a hair versus hair match. That a lot is on the line. I would
yeah.
cry if I lost my hair. So shout out
Oh yeah.
to them. Besides yours, what match are you most looking forward to on the Mounties Mania card?
I I really am looking forward to that six man to Jessica Troy and Scott Green and the Tuckman taking on North Shore
Yeah.
Wrestling because I think um, North Shore I not a fan of Charlie Evans. However, I used to be a big
Yeah,
fan.
your mentor.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then so all that situation it was a bit much
Hmm.
personally. Um, I remember just watching Coliseum, and I watched Jess win, and it was just such a nice, heartwarming moment. And then all that happened, and it was just like, sorry, like
Yeah.
you're throwing away what 10 years of friendship for Sam Osborne and Will Keatis.
Mhm.
Interesting. But yes, I think that it's I think yeah, the dropouts and Jessica Troy are going to beat North Shore Wrestling because they are just incredible wrestlers all in their own right. And North Shore have it coming. That's
So
all I'll say on that.
I'm curious after seeing Charlie's um shocking betrayal, where do you stand on your relationship with her? what does that look like now?
I mean, I haven't really spoken to her since it all
Mm,
happened. Um, to be fair, I don't really think she's going out of her way talking to many other people. Um,
fair.
but yeah, no, 100% Team Jess on this because,
Okay.
like, I don't know, Jess beat her clean, like, fair and
Yes.
square night one. So it just seems a bit like, it seems a bit much, personally. I wouldn't have done that. Especially when I feel like this just doesn't go with anything that Charlie taught me, like any of the values, anything that she taught me when I was very, very new. I just think that none of it makes sense from that standpoint. But hey, maybe I don't see the vision. Maybe I can't visualize that from my perspective.
Hmm.
Um, and to each their own. But yeah, no, I haven't spoken to her since, and I'm not in a rush to. I
That's fair.
personally just, yeah. But yeah, no, Team Jessica Troy all the
Okay.
way.
So the Backslide Girls tour are cool. We're not going to see a repeat of Charlie and Jessica with you and the Backslide Girls. I hope
No.
not. Okay.
Oh
Good.
gosh, no. Oh,
Okay.
never. Oh gosh. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine that because it just wouldn't happen. No, no, no,
Well, obviously not. Now,
no.
final question. As we're looking ahead to 2025, besides singles gold, what are some of your personal and professional goals or perhaps resolutions, as they say, for the new year?
I feel like every year I always just say I want to have more matches than I did the previous. I feel like that I've done that every year successfully. And so I think that's definitely something I want to go into 2025 doing because I think I had like 46 matches this year. And so and like last year I had 20.
It's
And
more than double. Yeah.
the year before I had like 13. And then the year before that I had 5. Like
You're
I
doubling
very
it
much,
every year. Yeah.
yeah, well, like I probably wouldn't be able to double it next year, but we'll see. Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe.
I think granted Shaz is in the States, there's a lot more bookings, but I think she's
Mm.
like just hit her 95th match of the year, I think. I think
Yeah,
yours, I mean,
right.
she might have a match before then, but you might be number 90, 96, 97, 98, something like that for her.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, she's got a lot of reps in
Hmm.
America. But yeah, no, I think that's definitely one of the main ones is just get more matches than I did this year because I feel like if I'm doing that, then I think I'm doing something right. And I
Hit one
think
a week
just
too. You like one a week
yeah,
52. That would be an aim. Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely. That would be like that's kind of the dream, really, is just to really consistently just be
Hmm.
wrestling all over the country. That's truly, truly just that's what you kind of want. But yeah, I think I mean I think maybe more tag gold is another thing on the agenda. You know, the PWA tag team champions, um, you know, AJ and Bell. I think that, you know, maybe that's something. Because like I don't know, I feel like we've pinned them probably once. Yeah, last Coliseum, 2023. I remember that. So there's that. Um, yeah, I feel like as well as tag stuff. Yeah, I want to do my own solo ventures around the country as well. Because I feel like Shay Kassidy is coming into her own a bit more outside of the Backslide Girls
Yeah.
and outside of being Kingsley's tag partner, outside of being Everett Connor's tag partner. I think Shay Cassidy is coming into her own little spot, which I think has been very very nice, and it's been hard, but I think it's slowly but surely getting there.
And we want you in America as well.
All right, fine. I'll write that down.
World
Make a note
tour.
of it.
Like you have to.
I know.
That's
I do.
basically your gimmick. You need a
We're,
world
I
tour
think
like Sabrina.
we're
Hello.
on the Australian leg. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll
Damn,
get
that's
there.
that leg's been going a long time.
It's been like a year and a half,
I'm
actually.
kidding.
When's the leg gonna finish? We don't know.
We don't
When we
know.
say so.
Well, fingers crossed that you get everything that you want next year. 52 is a good round number, one a week. You could double and get like 80 though. Like who's to say? Like
Who is to
who's to
say?
say?
Oh, yeah,
Fingers
you're right.
crossed.
You're right. I could do it.
But before we let you go, Shay, please let the listeners know where they can find you online and support you.
So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, and I think on TikTok I'm under the same name as Shay Kassidy Pro, and then my Facebook is Shay Kassidy. It either Shay Kassidy or Shay Kassidy Professional Wrestler. I think it might be just Shay Kassidy though. But yeah, that's where you can find me,
And
and we
that's
can hang out.
Cassidy with a K, by the way.
With a K, please. If
Yes.
anyone spells it with a C, I'll cry. Ugh.
Don't cry. Don't make her cry, guys. Shay
Please, do you want me
Cassidy with a K. Shay,
with a
thank you
K?
so much for joining me here today. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to catch up.
Thank you for having me.